Greetings, freaks and folks, this is Vlad and welcome back to another champion reaction, reveal, video, whatever. Today I'm a little bit late because I was at a family party yesterday and I really enjoyed it. I took a day off, more or less. And today I will probably get 2 releases, so if you are hyped for the other release later today as well, stay tuned for that. Subscription is anywhere there. And yeah, about Sion, it's the latest reveal from yesterday. He is a Noxus champion, is what I knew, and unfortunately, I had a little glimpse yet again at the card. So I know it's a 7-mana card, but I actually assumed that he would be at least a 5-cost unit champion because it's a tank in League of Legends, and he is an under Juggernaut, so a big badass guy, and I'm definitely hyped for this dude because Noxus is my favorite region, and I really want to have some late game options for Noxus and not only this, only aggro and stuff. So without any further talking, let's actually jump into this bad boy trailer. I already love his art. Let's go.
I hunger for battle. I feel the blood coursing.
I love the voice. Jesus. He is a 3/6 buddy, so extremely understated with an overwhelm keyword, and it says when I'm discarded, grant your strongest ally overwhelm. When he's discarded, whoa, okay, and place me into your deck. So you don't discard him out of into Nirvana, right? You just place him back into the deck, and you grant, not give, you grant overwhelm to your strongest ally. And it says on, I have 1+ for each card you have discarded this game. Maximum 7+. So yeah, obviously Draven is the first thing that comes to mind with his axes. The axes are able to discard something, so you can probably discard Sion, and yeah, with each axe you don't only boost temporary what is on board, but you forever boost your Sion who is leveling in the deck. And yeah, his level up requirement is you have discarded or summoned 33+ power. That's really interesting. Holy, this opens up a lot of things.
Through me.
Yeah, obviously with Jinx, PNC, get excited. Ooh. Oh, a fearsome unit there. Oh, what was that? Let's go back a bit here. It's a Noble Rebel, and it's a 3-mana 3/2 body. Has overwhelm, it says grant me +2/+1 once you've discarded 3+ cards this game. Also really decent. So we have a lot of discard synergy here with the new cards. Definitely thinking of survival skills. This is probably a staple in this kind of deck as well. You discard a Reborn Grenadier, who upon oh, I love this art of this little dude. Let's go actually back here. Reborn Grenadier is a ephemeral 1-mana 3/2, and it says to play me, discard a card. Alright, so it's sort of a, what's the face? The Eye of, not Eye of the Dragon? The Claws of the Dragon, I think is the name. Where you can burst speed summon it if you cast 2 spells, and here you discard it to cast it. So sort of the Flame Chompers, right? And also the Jury Rig. Yeah, so very interesting card. But obviously for blocks like that, this is just a perfect card. Okay, the Ancient Warmonger is the next card here, a 5-mana 5/5 body, really solid stats with overwhelm. And it says when I'm discarded, grant your strongest ally +2 attack. I love it. I totally love it. Like the fact that we have discard synergy and not being in an aggro deck, but actually have big boys like the Ancient Warmonger in the deck and also Sion for 7 mana. And have the flexibility of just discarding them and have something in advance for it. It's just awesome. Awesome card design.
I wear the crown and bear its burden. Bury them in.
Oh, what was that? It's Assault and Stitches, and it says to play discard a card, so yet again... Oh no! Actually, I think I read the other follower wrong. To play discard a card, so if you want to play this dude, it's sort of the Zonald Yurchin. We have to discard another card in order to play it, actually. So it says the same to play this discarded card, so it's also like get excited, right? It's a better comparison. And it says summon a reborn grenadier and give it +2 attack this round. So I think reborn grenadier was this ephemeral unit, so it would be a 5/2 buddy then.
Bury them in bones.
So you discard this other really big thing that was I didn't saw. We see it in a moment. What is this? An 8-drop was there.
Me, Knights of Demacia.
Come out and die.
Boom, boom, boom. Right, repose. Oh yes, it tackles.
Demacians, fight for your king.
Howling sharpens.
The Roar of the Slayer. Has speed, 3-mana spell. It says to play discard the cards. So yet again, get excited. Cost, speed, and requirement. And it says kill the weakest enemy. Ooh. Wait. But is this good in a deck like this? I think this is rather a card that you want to have in any sort of, removal deck that you run Ezreal. But the thing is that this doesn't level Ezreal because it's not targeting a specific card. But you kill the weakest enemy. In order to give this some value, you need actually to get rid of all the 1/1s and 1-drops that the enemy has on board, right? And you can only do this with AoE effects, for example. If you team it up with Avalanche and stuff. This could be a really good deck card in the Braum Swain deck that I showed some time ago on my channel. And where you add this card in order to just kill something for 3 mana.
Kill. The meek shall not prosper.
But is it better than Scorched Earth? I wonder.
Rule well, my son.
Oh, here comes the Twin Blade Revenant. I love the art. It's a 4-mana 4/3 challenger, and it has Last Breath. And it says create a lost soul in hand, whatever that is. But I definitely love that we have sort of a solid 4-drop now, because I think Noxus lacks a bit of really solid 4-drops. Like we have this Ballista on 3, but on 4 there are not that many really good 4-drops in Noxus. So let's see what Lost Soul has to offer. Oh, it comes out. Oh, what a badass. Alright, so Sion has now a 10 attack body, 10/6 actually, and it says overwhelm still, Last Breath, summon a Sion Returned, whoever that is, and when I'm discarded, grant your strongest ally overwhelm and place me into deck. So this part of the card stays the same, but you has the Last Breath effect to summon a Sion Returned. Let's see what it is.
Away with you.
He probably kills now Sion, yeah.
Not even death can stop me.
Is this just a rally 10/4 body with overwhelm? I haven't seen Lost Soul, we'll see it in a second.
Victory is a taste I will never forget.
Holy guacamole. So let's go over these. Sion, a extremely interesting design here. We have the discard synergy, but we have it late in the game. We have a level up Sion that just gets to be a Sion the Return, and when he summoned Rally said that's what I thought. And Jesus, holy 10 attack. So this is sort of a Darius, right? A leveled up Darius also has a 10/6 body. And but this dude has actually the Last Breath to be Sion Returned, which is a sort of undead ephemeral dude who rallies actually. So you get a double attack off of that. But the problem has it that if you stun the Sion, you hold this whole attack, right? So a Concussive Palm is something that stops Sion, and in order with that also the Sion the Returned. So maybe you even want to run this in a deck where you can kill your own units or sacrifice your own units. This would probably be a good thing to have. The Roar of the Slayer is actually the signature card of Sion. So I think it has a solid position there to be a signature card. In order to have this all discard synergy and stuff, right? With all these units is also synergized with discard now within Noxus. And the thing is that we can then use it in certain scenarios where you want to actually kill the weakest enemy, where maybe the enemy has only one unit on board and that's a really thick one. We can just get rid of by the Roar of the Slayer. But I don't know how good this is if you main deck it. I have to think about a bit how you would play or build a deck around this card, or have a deck where this fits in. It's maybe the better way to say it. The Ancient Warmonger, like I said, really solid stat line, 5 mana, 5/5 with Overwhelm. So the vanilla sets with Overwhelm is extremely scary. We see this with the Rune Runner right now, that is dominating the meta, which has a spell shield. Is also the thing that makes it so good. But you have the flexibility with this follower. First, it has 1 more health, which can matter a lot of times, and also has the upside of being a discard father and granting something the +2 attack. So it has a flexibility there as well. And I adore the art of all of these. Like this is going through the ceiling, the design. And then we have the Reborn Grenadier. Like I said, it has this 2-play thingamajig that's. It says discard a card, sort of a Zoned Urchin, and it also has the when I'm discarded summon an exact copy of me. So most of the time you want to discard this dude in order to just play him. I think you're almost never using this, but yet again, flexibility, you know, you can play him, and if you want to discard, get rid of something in your hand, just do it with the Reborn Grenadier. He has both upsides of discard something and being discarded. So really, really solid 1-drop. That's definitely a staple in this archetype, in my opinion. And then we have the Noble Rebel. This was the card that gets the +2/+1 attack if stats on top of the 3/2 body. So then is a 5/3 body with Overwhelm. So this is a bit like the old, what's it called? Like the Allegiance card from Noxus, but this unit actually costs 4 and this costs 3. And discarding 3 cards is really easy to do in discard decks. Like we saw with PNZ, we have a lot of 0 mana or 1 mana discard things, and this is a really easy requirement to meet. Definitely also a staple in this archetype, I think. Then we have a 2 mana 3/2 Fearsome the Fallen Rider. It's also this art, Risen Rider. All these are just so great art-wise. And then we have the text that has, when I'm discarded, create a Risen Rider in hand. So the Risen Rider is this 2 mana 4/2 with Fearsome here. And yeah, so again, we have discard synergy. We can use this as a 3/1 body with Fearsome for 2 mana, which is still solid. It can be Vile Feasted, it can be pinged by 1 damage, makes it a bit weak. But in order to just create a stronger unit, you discard this dude and then have a 2 mana 4/2 with Fearsome. So it's a sort of a give me +1/+1 when I'm discarded, basically, right? So yeah, you have free discard father. Is the thing with the Fallen Raider. Holy smokes. And we have the Twinblade Revenant. I don't know what this reminds me of. It's sort of a faceless assassin thingy. And we have the Challenger on it and the Last Breath effect with the Lost Soul. And the Lost Soul is this unit right here. So it's this 8-drop, actually, that we saw prior. And this unit has an 8 mana 5/4 body. And it says, when I'm summoned or discarded, create a Twinblade Revenant in hand. Have we seen a Twinblade Revenant yet? I don't think so. We'll talk about it in a second. But from now on, yeah, you can just summon him or discard him and you create it anyways. It's really hard to rate from now standpoint on, because 8 mana is a whole lot as an investment. But you get him off for free by the Twinblade Revenant. And like I said, the 4/3 body is, I think, what makes this good. A 4-attack Challenger. We have this 4 mana 3/3 with Quick Attack and Challenger. I think it only gets Quick Attack if it's summoned. And it doesn't see any play whatsoever, because the 3-attack deadline is just too weak for a Challenger for a 4 cost. But having the 4/3 body for 4 mana is actually way better, and you get basically no card disadvantage if this one dies, because you get the Lost Soul out of it. And we have yet to see what Twinblade Revenant is. Or maybe I missed it, I don't know. I'd like to actually hop onto Mobalytics to see what that is. And we are back, and I'm actually stupid. Dreamlight Revenant is this 4-drop itself. I said the name prior, and then I said read out Dreamlight Revenant. It didn't came to my mind that this is the same card. So yeah, what I want to say here is that this is an infinite value engine. Like, you never run out of cards with this. If you summon the Lost Soul, you create a Dreamlight Revenant. And if the Dreamlight Revenant dies, you just get a Lost Soul. And if you play the Lost Soul, you get the Dreamlight Revenant. You see a pattern here. Oh, you can't main deck the Dreamlight Revenant. This is also really important to note. I haven't. So if you discard the Lost Soul is what you want to do most of the time, to get the Dreamlight Revenant, then you play in, and then you get another Lost Soul in hand, if the Dreamlight Revenant dies. And then you can discard him again and get another Dreamlight Revenant, or you just, yeah, play him and summon another Dreamlight Revenant. I'm repeating myself here, sorry. But I'm amazed by this card design. This is pretty clever to my mind. Alright, let's actually go one by one here. We also have the Weapon of the Lost, which is an 8-mana slow speed, so we have to combine it to something like Icequake. And it says deal 3 to units and summon a Trifarian Shieldbreaker. A Trifarian Shieldbreaker is, oh yeah, this card. I actually forgot about it. This 5-mana 6/5 with Fearsome. So we have a 5-mana value unit, plus we deal 3 to a unit. How good is that? I mean, you can play it for spell mana, so you technically could play it on turn 5 as well, like you could do with Trifarian Shieldbreaker. But the Trifarian Shieldbreaker actually never sees any play because it has a Fearsome keyword on it, and on turn 5 this is a pretty bad keyword to have, or not a really good one. Let's go with that. You rather want to have Overwhelm, Elusive, something like that, to break through the enemy lines. The plus or 3+ attack blockers is something that the enemy will have on turn 5. That's why the Shieldbreaker doesn't see any play. But in conjunction with dealing 3 to units, it could be okay-ish. I don't know. But also don't know in what kind of deck you would want to play it, where you are actually dealing damage and you set around fearsome units. Yeah, probably one of these then long forgotten slow speed spells that will get buffed in the future at some point, and then it will be good. But right now I don't see it being playable, unfortunately. Then we have the Grave Physician, English, and then we have a 2-mana 2/2 for Buddy with that name. It says play, discard a card to draw a unit. Ooh, this is solid. This is really, really solid. So this is the same effect like the Zoned Urchin, but instead of just drawing a card, we draw a unit for sure, which makes it... Does it make it better or make it worse? This is a serious question here. I think most of the time it makes it better, because in these Draven Jinx decks you want to draw a unit. You want to draw these champions, these particular champions. You don't want to really draw a Jury-Rig, for example. This is most of the time to just discard more. And this Jury-Rig is a spell, right? And the Grave Physician will draw as a unit and potentially a champion at that. So really solid card as well. And you don't lose any card advantage. You can also just discard an Axe from Draven, for example. Yeah, solid card overall. About all these cards we have talked about, the Risen Rider, also the Fallen Rider. We have the Risen Reckoner here, which is a token card produced by the Fallen Reckoner. And the Fallen Reckoner is a 5-mana 4/3 body with Overwhelm. It says when I'm summoned, grant can't block to the weakest enemy. This is something that we haven't seen before, right? Debuffing with can't block. We've seen with the pranks, actually, and there we will see this debuff a whole lot, I think, in the future. But this Fallen Reckoner will make the weakest enemy kind of useless in terms of blocking. And it also says, last breath, create a Risen Reckoner in hand. And the Risen Reckoner is a 3-mana 6/3 body. So yet again, sort of the Allegiance card from Noxus wise stats, but only for 3 mana. And it's ephemeral, and it will have 6 overwhelm damage. Oof. Like, as a person that loves Noxus as a region, as my favorite region, I'm blown away by this reveal. Definitely one of my favorite reveals. I don't know if it's better than Senna, but it's definitely a staple, and makes Noxus so much more interesting right now. I'm super glad that these cards were printed. I hope you were as well. Let me know what you think about these cards. And yeah, we'll see each other later today, actually. If you don't want to miss on that, there's the subscribe button. It's a really good idea. And there's the direction about Senna I've mentioned before. So yeah, until later, you stay legendary. Let out.